fought in many countries like Brazil, France, Croatia, and England, but not yet in Russia. How are you experiencing your first fight week over there?
Growing up, everyone always has all these countries that they want to go visit, and people always used to look at me kind of funny because I'm like, the one place I've always wanted to go visit is Russia. So it's kind of killing two birds with one stone, coming over here, fighting, and get to see the country that I've always wanted to travel to. I got to walk around a little bit today, just kind of first day here, and it hasn't disappointed yet.
Tim, you fought not that long ago against Valentin Moldavsky for the interim title. Not a lot has really changed since then if you look at the top of the division. How do you see your future if you beat Fedor? Do you have a specific route planned out?
Yeah, I got kind of something. You should always have somewhat of a plan. Win over Fedor. I don't know if that gets me right back into a title contention. Maybe have another fight. Maybe me and Czech go a third time. I also don't know what's happening with Minakov and their contract going on there, and Whitney's fighting from here on out. So maybe after this fight, we have a number one contender fight, and just have to wait to see what happens with Ryan Bader and Moldovsky. And yeah, unfortunately. And on the other side of things, if things don't go my way, and Fedor gets the weight on me, I think Moldovsky might step back and let Fedor fight for a belt. Put a bow on it for him.
Kobe, go ahead.
Hi, Tim. Kobe from Pro Sports Podcasters in Canada. First off, Russia's on my bucket list as well, so I understand your excitement being there. But how's it going to feel for you to be really the bad guy in this situation? Hostile territory, famous opponent in his home country. Do you relish that, or is it going to be a little bit different for you?
I take that. I embrace that. That's how many people get to experience stuff like that. That's the way I look at it. The things that walking out here fighting a Russian, or the Russian, I suppose to say, in his home country. I don't think very many people can get to experience that. I think I have something comparable. I fought a Brazilian in Brazil, so I got to just hear the Udole chant. So it's kind of, this will probably be a little more intense, but I do have a little bit of experience of that.
And do you think that having already fought earlier this year gives you a slight advantage over Fedor considering the layoff?
I don't think it was another guy with experience level is like, me. I've only had 22 fights, 23 fights. Then I think might, but Fedor's he has enough experience, enough fights that I don't think some time off's gonna hurt him at all.
Adam, go ahead.
Hi, thank you for your time. Sort of piggybacking off the previous question, did you ever find yourself having as cliche as it sounds, a sort of a Rocky IV moment coming into Russia fighting the hometown hero, anything like that?
No, that's I've been asked that a handful of times, a lot of interviews coming up, and if I was still living in Minnesota, it'd be a little more realistic because I'm in cold weather training. But unfortunately, I'm living in Vegas right now, so I didn't have any snowy mountains to climb.
And one more question, please. If Fedor's actually, his record, despite being in the game for so long, it's been pretty good as of late. Is it hard to look past the aura of Fedor, given the time he's been in the sport?
I think if you allow yourself to, you can probably get wrapped up in that pretty quick. Initially when the fights were announced for the first couple of weeks, I probably was, I'm fighting Fedor, didn't really 100% focus on, all right, this is the fight. The first couple of weeks I let myself drift off into that kind of thinking, but last month or so it's been, this is a fight, this is what I do, this is what I get paid to do, and this is for mine and my family's future. So I can't go out there thinking about, oh man, I'm fighting Fedor. No, this is just an opponent and who's in front of my goals.
Gabriel, go ahead.
Hey Tim, I want to know, so obviously you've been in Moscow for a minute for fight week. Can you just talk a little bit about what's the reception been like for you? Do people know you're the guy who's there to fight Fedor? Has everyone been nice? what has the reception actually been like there on the ground?
I haven't interacted with too many people yet, but actually, it's funny you say that. When we came back, we were down by the Kremlin area today and took a taxi back, and the taxi driver kind of figured out quick that we were there for fighting. And when he got done with dropping us off, and he got out of his car, he's like, "Hey, guy, I need a picture with you. I need a picture with you." So stopped and got a picture with him. And but other than that, I think more people are just looking at us because they can hear us talking. They're like, "How did Americans get here?"
And then my second question, just when you break down Fedor, just like what are some things he does well, and what are some of the things you feel like you'll be able to implement that you could tell us?
Fedor he's a power puncher. He's got good explosions. First, if you do manage to take him down, he's got good explosions on the bottom to get into a scramble position. I guess to exploit, this is a fight. Just kind of look at this fight, training wise, on the feet, fence, and ground. Any aspect is kind of I'm preparing this fight to be in all three positions, I guess you could say.
Thank you.
Yaroslav?
Hello, team. Not so long ago, you fought against Valentin Maldovsky, the student of Fedor, and there is an opinion that this experience could help you in preparing for the fight against Fedor. Is this really the case, or is it different fighters?
No, I don't think so. I think they're completely different fighters. Maldovsky is very light on his feet, moves a lot, and it's definitely a little bit of attrition to fight him for 25 minutes, running around the ring chasing him. But Fedor, he doesn't fight that way. He fights in front of you, looking to land that big right hand or that left uppercut. That's kind of where he's looking to be, and just like. He's a well-rounded fighter. You can't just shoot in on him. Can't do any of that. Just get lazy with him. So you just kind of, they're completely different fighters in my opinion.
You are?
Yeah, hello guys. Hello team, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, we talked with you in August, and we talked about your Russian. Have you learned any new Russian words?
No, just placebo. that's about it. No, it's just I barely speak English, so I mean, a foreign language ain't gonna work for me.
Thank you.
Dylan?
Hey there, Tim. I appreciate you making some time.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm just curious because I had seen the picture from Roy Nelson on his Twitter of you guys getting in some good work there with Eric Nixick. Who else would you credit as some of the, main sparring partners leading into this one?
Sergey Spivkov was in there with me quite a bit. Carl, until he had a little minor injury, he came out. Chris Thompson, and we just kind of worked with a handful of light heavyweights and 185ers too, just kind of keep my hand speed up. And that's kind of the basis of this camp. It worked out quite a bit back in Minnesota, Fargo, or North Dakota area because I had to go back a handful of times for military duty. So I was bouncing around a lot this camp.
Yeah, and just as a quick follow-up here, because we'd spoken before about, weaponizing pace and some of the recent camps and whatnot, how much is that going to, inform the performance against a guy like, Fedor, who's regarded as one of the more nimble kind of heavyweights?
That's just, I don't think it's going to be too much. That's why I kind of, heavyweights, I like sparring heavyweights just to kind of get the weight and the feel of it for grappling and clinch work. But that's the reason why I like working with light heavyweights and 185ers because I'm not going to be able to keep up with their hand speed, but at least I'll get adjusted to seeing how fast how fast their hands are. So in theory, if I can see their hands, I should be able to see any heavyweights fans. Yeah, hands. My bad.
The last one here, Jashawn.
Hello, team. So I would like to ask you. You said that you were a little bit surprised that Fedor picked you for this fight. Is that a little bit overwhelmed, or does a fighter mentality that this is a huge fight, I'm gonna take it no matter what?
Yeah, initially with the names that they were throwing out there, Tim Johnson's pretty low, pretty low on the name power list. People know me, but they don't really. I don't think a lot of like general fans really think of me as a big name power kind of guy. So initially, I didn't know. We still don't know. I mean, if Fedor beats me, this definitely is not going to be his last fight. If I win, it might be. I don't know. But so if it was going to be his retirement fight, a lot of fans were hoping that it was going to be another big name power guy, another legend. But looking at it from his shoes, I'm right up there on the list. I'm right underneath the student. If he gets a win over me, he gets a chance to, potentially fight for the belt again.
One more here from Yaroslav. Yaroslav, go ahead.
Tim, when you had your first fight in MMA, Fedor was already an MMA star, was a legend of the sport. And which Fedor fight do you probably remember best? Maybe your favorite fight?
Was it a Crow Cop? Yeah. Probably his Crow Cop fight. I had to think about it.